Leadership is a big part of ministry. If you have a position or a title, you're leading others, or you should be. Today on Friday 5 and 5, I'm sharing 5 lies that leaders believe. As a music minister or director, you are a leader to all of the wonderful people who are a part of the music ministry. That includes musicians, worship leaders, praise singers, and whoever else falls under the category of music ministry at your church. You've been given a great responsibility, and you should be the best leader that you could possibly be. It's important to acknowledge that yes, you are a leader, and then lead with intention. These 5 lies that leaders believe can get us in a little bit of trouble, so hopefully if you believe one of them, you decide to change that today. Number 1 is leadership means being in charge. Leadership is so much more than this. Being in charge doesn't always make you a great leader, and an I'm in charge mentality probably means that your team doesn't feel invested in the ministry. We've all seen people who were in charge of something and yet still fell short as leaders. And then again, we've seen people who didn't have a position or a title, but they were leaders nonetheless. There will be times in leadership where taking charge is necessary, but a great leader can cast a vision and then let their team invest in that vision. Create a safe space for their ideas to be heard and utilize those ideas. Don't hold on to your ministry with tight fists, but delegate responsibilities and utilize the strengths of your team members. Great leaders understand the value of creating a healthy team culture. The second lie that leaders believe is, I know how others perceive me. Do you? We know ourselves, our thoughts, our motives, our personalities, but that doesn't mean that everyone else does. As a young person, I had some shy tendencies, and I still feel like I could be socially awkward at times. Unbeknownst to me, instead of coming across shy, I found out that people thought I was unapproachable and a snob. As a leader, it's important to know how others perceive you, and that might mean you need to ask. Ask people you trust, like other leaders, your friends, family members, and even those on your team. You can also listen for how others describe you. Just don't assume that you know how others perceive you. The third lie is, I don't have to change or grow. Just because you're in a leadership position does not mean that there's no room for personal growth. As a leader, you should always be pushing yourself to learn more, change and make adjustments as things around you change, improve your skills, and grow as a leader. This isn't just about the personal benefit, although that's certainly a part of it, but your team will learn by your example and rise up as you do. Ask yourself what you're doing right now to grow, and if there are changes that need to happen personally or in your ministry. The fourth lie that leaders believe is, I can lead people the way I would want to be led. There will always be a variety of personalities represented on your team, and that's great. Your team should be diverse, and each person should bring their own unique strengths to the ministry. But that means you need to understand the personalities you're working with, then lead and motivate them accordingly. The people who follow you will act and react differently than you do. So set them up for success by playing to their strengths. And lie number 5 is that leaders should be separated from the people they lead. Building relationships and establishing trust is such an important part of leadership. The people on your team shouldn't feel disconnected from you. As you build relationships, your passion for the ministry will overflow, making an impact on those who follow you. The more you invest in your team, the more they will invest in the ministry. Don't separate yourself from the people you lead. Instead, get in, link arms with them, and do something amazing. As leaders, we've probably all believed one of these lies at some point. But the good news is we don't have to keep believing them. We can choose to acknowledge the truth and be a better leader. I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below sharing one lie you've believed as a leader and how you overcame it. If you like this video and want to see more content like it, then give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.